Like this ideal, like, especially with like writing
Hello everybody. Sorry for the delay, we had some technical difficulties, but thanks a lot for coming here. So we have two speakers today, Saideep and Jacqueline. The first speaker, Saideep, is going to be talking about what space travel can teach us about being human. So Saideep, the floor is yours.
So let me start with a very interesting fact that you cannot burp in space. Your body acts very differently in space, and if you try to burp, you might vomit out. You know, space is not very glamorous. But when you think about that, it's like sometimes these facts just bring that thought to your mind. Like, is space that wild? Is it really something which we can't imagine about? Yes, it is. Not everyone gets to go to space, and that's the human aspect. The space which space has is what astronauts give it to it. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Saideep Kotastane, and I'm a junior in electrical and computer engineering. And today I will be presenting in front of you about what space travel can teach us about being human. So let me start with an interesting story. I was in my third grade, not a very nerdy student, but smart enough. So someone gave me a space encyclopedia. I was not a very bookworm, not like a bookworm person. So I would just scroll through pages, and then if it's a good picture, I would check on it, and if it's not, I would not care about the words. That's like a normal third grader would do, right? But then there was one picture which caught my attention, and I still remember it. It was Sunita Williams, and she's the first Indian American astronaut to go to space. And the picture was very normal. She was just in a regular spacesuit. But there was something different. Because when I saw the picture, I was like, can I be that person? Can I try to be that person? Can I go up there? And ever since that day, I've been chasing that dream. I am an electrical and computer engineering major, but with each passing day, I try to strive, and I try to make efforts in such a way that just because of one aim, that I want to contribute to the space sector. But space is not just what we think about. It's not just about rockets, it's not just about astronauts, it's not about stars, planets, or anything. It's about the unexpected things which occur to you. It's about the planned missions which go in unplanned way. It's about anything vague, anything uncertain which can happen to you. Let me give you a very small and very popular example. It's about Apollo 13. I'm pretty sure everyone must have heard about the Apollo 13 incident, but let me just brief you what happened. It was a regular mission to the moon by NASA. I mean, in 1970, it was like NASA's regular trip to moons, so it was a normal thing for them. But one thing went wrong. While the astronauts were in space, the oxygen tank of the space shuttle exploded. And the famous quote, "Houston, we have a problem," comes from this mission. Because it was a life and death situation for them. They were left with literally nothing, and they had to come up with something so that they can save them, their lives, and their teammates basically. What did they do? Can you guess what they used to save themselves from the mission or from the problem? They used a duct tape. And I'm not kidding, they used a duct tape, a couple plastic bags, and all sorts of items which engineers don't even bother to notice in their everyday lives. That's true. It's like every small thing which was available on the spacecraft, they used it, they fixed the tank, and they made it back safely. All those astronauts came back safe. And that's what being an astronaut teaches you, being an engineer teaches you, that whatever resources you have to make use of it. In case of panic, in case of extreme situations, you cannot just give up and you cannot just let go. You have to think outside the box and you have to make it work. Because it's not just about you, it's about all the others who are involved in the mission. Now, I want to talk about some very important thing, which is like the astronaut's greatest weapon, trust. Astronauts don't just trust their team members, They trust the entire all the crew members involved in the mission. And that's not just the person who is going up with them. It involves thousands of scientists, thousands of engineers, and thousands of qualified professionals who are involved in designing the mission and performing the experiment. And it just doesn't come easy. For example, if an astronaut has to go to a spacewalk, it's not just that he can just go outside whenever he wants to go. He has to trust himself, he has to trust his spacesuit, he has to trust his crew members so that he can support him while he's gone. For example, if an astronaut goes outside and his crew member locks him out, how is he going to come back, right? It's like, again, it's a trivial situation, but in that case, both the team members have to coordinate with each other. And again, you cannot work without the support of your crew members back on Earth. I remember when I was working with my friends back in India for an IEEE event a couple of weeks back, I noticed that I cannot take charge of everything. I was not in control of everything. And that's when I realized that I should be trusting them so that they can make that part of the competitions a success, which they were assigned to. I cannot be responsible for something they were responsible for, and same goes for them as well. But we trusted in each other. We believed in each other. And that's what an astronaut does. He trusts his teammates. He believes that his teammates and his crew member, the mission control, is going to make sure that every aspect of the mission is a success. Now, I want you to do a very simple task. You are sitting in pairs, you are sitting in groups of 3, you can do that, or you can use pairs of 2 as well. It's completely your choice. Your task is basically that one of you is the mission control. If you're a group of 3, the center person is the mission control back on Earth, and the other 2 beside you would be your astronauts. What you have to do is, you have been given a sheet of paper with a set of instructions. Now mission control will read the set of instructions to the astronaut, and the astronaut will complete the set. Here's the catch. The astronaut will have to either close their eyes or have to look up at the ceiling while doing the work. So you cannot see what you're doing, you completely have to rely on your partner's instructions. I can give you 5 minutes to do the activity, and then we can talk more about it.
So just don't look at
Yes, four symmetry. Make sure the nose is more.
Oh, mission control! I trusted you!
Press down slowly to secure the
in the edge.
Alright, just do
Yeah, that's fine.
Fold the entire paper in half along the circumference so that the nose is now tight. Run your fingers along, run your fingers along the folded edge to make these along the top.
So how's it looking? Everyone, how's it looking? Is anyone done with this? Is it light? Yeah.
The wing should be
Okay. So if you were able to make your play, that's really good. But did you guys understand what happened there? Everyone knew how to make an airplane, and that's what astronauts do. They know how to do their things. But the catch was they have to trust their mission control to give them proper instructions. Now you relied on your teammate to tell you proper instructions, and you trusted them, right? Even though you knew how an airplane works or how to make an airplane, you still relied on their instructions. And same goes with astronauts. They can do a particular task alone. They can finish it alone, but still they have to rely on their teammates. They have to rely on the instructions of mission control and all the people, all the intellectuals involved in the mission. And that's exactly what they do in space. They cannot just be alone. They cannot just think about themselves. They have to think collectively. I hope it was a fun activity. Okay, now let me talk about something really important, which not just astronauts, but every professional or qualified person thinks about. Am I really cut for this? Do I really belong to the space I'm contributing to? Or am I really good enough for the position I'm in? Astronauts go through these type of imposter syndrome continuously when they're in space. And that's just because they're all alone up there. There's no one else apart from their crew member. Sometimes they're all alone, no crew member. And it's just that they have to serve the mission, they have to complete the goal. And it's not very easy. They have to let go of these thoughts. These type of thoughts are just gonna hamper the mission and slow it down, because if the person up there is not able to complete his assigned responsibilities, they're just gonna make it worse, and it's a waste of billions of dollars, and that's what no one wants. Let me share an interesting story about my experience. When I was working on the remote robot car project, I was working in a team, but when I was presenting in the symposium while I was doing it, I used to think, have I really contributed enough to it? Do I really have the knowledge of what I'm doing? Or do I really know what I'm doing? Is it like just something I'm copying from someone or just relying on my teammate? And these type of thoughts is common for everyone who's involved in it. And everyone has to overcome these type of feelings, because if they don't, it's just going to make them worse. Because if you're working in a team especially, it's just going to put pressure on your teammates, and that's just going to make it worse for everyone. So astronauts, remember that astronauts will and are going through all these things, yet they still have made it successfully, have made the mission successful, and they come back. It might be some incidents here and there which we have heard about, which might not go as planned, and that's completely fine. It's not like it was all of their fault. If it's someone's fault, it's a collective fault. You cannot play a blame game in these type of situations. So if an astronaut thinks that it was all his fault, that's not true. Because everyone is at fault who is in the mission. Everyone is credible for the success of the mission. It's all about teamwork. Now let me give you another challenge, which is a quick, very basic one. You have been given a piece of paper and a pen. What you have to do is put your non-dominant hand behind your back and use your right or dominant hand to write a sentence which I will put up on the screen. But the catch is you cannot touch any part of your dominant hand on the table. You have to lift your hand and then write the sentence. And let me know how that experience is.
Okay.
Are dominant or non-dominant?
You have to tap them first.
Alright, where's my non-dominant? I just stack all my stuff on top of it. So he said it's not
Yes, you can write it.
Oh, are we allowed to hold the paper for them?
Killed it. Honestly, I feel good about myself. It's much better if I go back to my
Okay, so I see a couple of you held the paper with something and then tried to write it, but the catch was when you're writing without any touch, without any feeling on your dominant hand, that's exactly how astronauts feel when they're up in microgravity. There's literally no friction between anything, and even if they're touching something and writing on the sheet, it feels like the same way as how you felt it. So that's exactly the same way astronauts do everything. This was just a very basic task, and you still struggled it, someone still aced it, and that's completely fine. But this is something which they have to do every day when they're up in space. And while doing these type of things, when there's a change in environment, when there's an entire change in their personal lifestyle, imagine what kind of feelings or what kind of struggles they will be going through. It's not something normal. Not everyone will be able to do it, but astronauts have made the cut, and that's why they're up there. There are thousands of other qualified people who can go to space, but that one person who has been chosen is special because he knows that he can handle these type of situations. And that's what they have to ultimately think about when these type of negative thoughts about being an imposter come to their minds. So now, all in all, what we have talked about is basically trust. And not trust just yourself, trust your teammates, trust your families. Why do I say families? Because they have been supporting you all throughout. It's not easy for a mother to think that his son or her son or her daughter is going to go up in space, and it's like a life or death situation. It's like an uncertain situation, and she cannot do anything about it. It's not easy. So she has to support her child, and basically that's the trust she has indulged in her child. Again, it's not just about trust, it's about adaptability. Astronauts, like how I said, have to adapt to these uncertain conditions these striving conditions of microgravity, sometimes their anxiety, depression, loneliness, all these type of feelings they have to overcome it. It's like right now, if you go outside, you'll see bright sun. But what does an astronaut see every day? It's just complete darkness. It's just sometimes he can see the Earth, that's all. And sometimes when the ISS is moving, the space shuttle is moving or something, some other planets, that's all. He cannot see anything. He cannot. There's no change, or there's like constants in his environment, and that's what he has to adapt to. And the next thing is moving forward. He has to complete his training. He has to complete his mission. He has to complete all his goals, and then come back. Because even these type of struggles which he goes throughout his mission, these are just going to pull him back if he's not going to fight strong to it. I want to give some personal examples and some really cool examples involved which are going to inspire you or which are going to convey my message better on how to become, or like how human it is to become an astronaut. You see the first person with whom I have clicked the picture, that's Dr. Norman Thagard, and he's the first American cosmonaut, and not an astronaut. I meant a cosmonaut because he was a Russian astronaut. And Dr. Thagard, he graduated with his bachelor's and master's in electrical engineering, and he was sent to Vietnam War. And as a pilot that too. He completed all his training, he went to the war, came back alive, contributed to his country, and then what did he do? He pursued a MD, Master of Doctors, in like a huge shift in his engineering, from his engineering degree. And later what happened? Dr. Thagard was selected in NASA's group of 8. These group of 8 were the first team of NASA who were non-pilots. They were not pilots by their profession, they were pilots by the course of their action. So it was like completely unexpected change of environments, change of professions for him. But he still made it. His last mission, he served as a Russian astronaut. He gained trust, he gained the recognition not just from his own countrymen, but even from Russian people. And that's what astronauts do. If you are sent up there, you make contributions in such a way and in such successful way that everyone congratulates you. That's the ultimate goal, that you complete everything, you are successful, you come back and you get the recognition. But here's the thing. For example, you were sent up there and your mission was scheduled for 8 days. After the completion of 8 days, mission control sends you a message that the space shuttle which was going to carry you back the next day is not going to arrive. That's exactly what happened for over 9.5 months with Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore recently. She was sent in last year in 2023 and last 2024. She came back recently on 18th March 2025 with her crew member. What happened? NASA's rockets were failing and that's why they couldn't risk sending it up there and get her back down. They were testing every time. Every new rocket, every new partnership with, for example, SpaceX, they were doing all that they could to bring her and her teammate back. But what did she do in this time? Did she lose hope? No. We were getting videos of her skin wrinkling, her bones getting weaker and weaker. But she was still we could see that she was working out, she was still performing her experiments. The experiments which were supposed to complete in 8 days, because of her elongated mission, she completed so much more things, so many more successful results were sent back to NASA, that her 8-day mission, even though it was elongated to over 9.5 months, it became a huge success for NASA. And it was a very big and proud moment for her and her teammate as well, because if they would have lost their strength, if they would have lost their trust in each other, and if they would have just played the blame game of why we are not coming back, or like not trusted their team back on Earth, it was not going to be possible. Because once you lose the trust, once you lose the hope, and once you lose the confidence in everyone around you, it's just going to make it worse. And did you see her pictures? Did you see her videos? They were so happy. She was still enjoying because she was doing what she loves. And even after being so old, even after facing so many challenges, like I was giving an example of like a couple of days, but she had to spend over 9.5 months. And that's what I like about her, that so many missions she has been through, not a single mission she has complained. And I'm pretty sure you won't come out and complain about your mission in front of everyone. But the smile she has whenever she comes back or whenever she goes up is just mesmerizing. And that's what an astronaut should do. Keep a smile and make sure you contribute enough to your team and to your country. Thank you. Do you have any questions for me?
Do you have any dreams of becoming an astronaut in future?
Sorry?
Do you have any dreams of becoming an astronaut?
Yeah, I mean, I said that's the ultimate goal.
Okay. So are you working towards it?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. All the best.
Thank you.